Thomas Allen White, the God complex? Thomas, it seems that you suffer from the God complex. So, why do I say that? You seem to have the illusion of total mastery. You present conflating explanatory storytelling with scientific proof. What you are calling a theory of everything is not being rejected because people don't like answers. It is being rejected because it does not meet the definition of a scientific theory. It has not produced independent, peer-validated predictive results that outperform existing models. That is not a philosophical objection. It is the definition of scientific sufficiency. You treat the explanation as if it were evidence. In real science, these are not the same thing. Explanation. Here is how I think it works. Evidence. Here is a measurement that could have falsified my model and didn't. Your theory does not become true because you feel it is explanatory. Your theory becomes accepted because it makes novel, risky predictions that can fail. Right now, your claims are explanatory overlays, not predictive frameworks. Saying, "We explain gravity better than Einstein," is not evidence. Producing equations that predict new gravitational phenomena that general relativity fails to predict is evidence. Saying, "We explain Saturn's rings, tides, and magnetism," is not evidence. Producing new measurements that only your equations predict is evidence. You seem to be the type of person who speaks with extreme certainty, but cannot produce novel, risky, falsifiable predictions that have been independently confirmed. You are not doing science. You are doing interpretive cosmology, which is your version of a philosophical narrative that feels explanatory, but is not operational. In your head, you think you know more than others, and then you pull together followers, which reinforces your mindset. That produces still more confidence without verification. Einstein is not accepted because he is famous. He is accepted because his field equations predicted gravitational lensing before it was observed, predicted time dilation before atomic clocks confirmed it, predicted perihelion precession of Mercury before it was measured, predicted gravitational waves before LIGO observed them. His equations continue to produce correct numerical results. That is not cult. That is testable predictive science. That is not how scientific validity works. Yet you seem to know how to play the game. You used the epistemic inversion technique by trying to reverse the burden of proof. Yet, I notice your move. You said, "You haven't disproved my theory of everything, therefore it stands." Science does not run on, "You failed to refute me." It runs on, "I produced results that only my model predicts." This inversion is a hallmark of belief-based certainty rather than measurement-based certainty. You criticize science for admitting that it does not yet explain 95% of the universe. That admission is not a weakness, it is a strength. It means the field publicly distinguishes between what is measured and what is unknown. Your framework erases that boundary and labels unresolved domains as solved without having produced independent confirmatory measurements. You say that you alone can explain where energy comes from, that you alone know what triggers the Big Bang. You also can explain chemistry for the first time and cycle the universe. Those are not explanations unless they are mathematically predictive and empirically discriminating. Right now, they are interpretive narratives, like abiogenesis and biological evolution. The difference is simple. Science says, "We do not yet know. Here is what is measured. Here is what must be tested." You said, "We know. Here is why it must be so." That is not more advanced. That is pre-scientific. This is not about disliking answers. It is about the difference between answers that feel complete and answers that survive hostile measurement. If your model is real, it will not need persuasion. It will need predictions that only it can make. Produce those, and science will move. Until then, this is not a theory of everything. It is a philosophy that wants to be one. Thanks for watching.